So at that point of time, the strategy was, okay, I don't have a degree, so I need to find a way to get into employment.
Okay.
That's the whole idea,
right.
right?
Yeah.
No degree, right? So specifically in my line, if I wanted to be an analyst, I was looking at how people hire, and again, it's basically based on degrees, and it's just a filtering process.
Complete bullshit.
If you have a better QS ranking for your universities, then you get in easier.
What is QS, right?
It's how universities are
It's
ranked.
like the
okay.
University.
So your QS ranking is higher than.
They see
I
the
don't even
status,
think a
the
lot of
status
It's
of
like HR lah. HR will scan, then they
Yeah.
will see lah. Oh, Cambridge, whatever, automatic inside. Then
big BS, man. I hate this system.
But that's because there's so much. Then they're too lazy to think, so they'll just put everything in a box and nice. So
Nice.
and for me, what I wanted to do was that actually I wanted to spend 1 year investing first. So I would use my ang pao money to actually invest. I will buy stocks. I will write down the reasons why I buy it, like a proper research. So that by the after 1 year, when I go to the employer,
You have like a portfolio.
I show you that I got practical experience. I can show you what I've done, and that would, in terms of a CV, put me in a different category.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ain't
Because
know.
not be unique lah. But there's obviously a risk lah, because again,
Not
The-
conventional.
not conventional. You're probably going to be vetted by a boomer.
100%.
So right.
这个是什么？
The system is
不要
already in
不要
place, so it's very hard to overcome the system.
But that was the plan lah, and I was pretty confident it will work, not without like risk or not without potential of failure. So I wanted to try that. Then just as I was trying that, my uncle, who was retired,
He-
got a bunch of money and
Oh.
started investing. Then he wanted to get educated, right? And he went for courses and all that. There was this course by this company.
Yeah.
They said, "Wow, it's really good." Then he heard I was interested in investing, because at the time my dad was like, as usual, the talk in
Sure.
dinners
Talk
and-
about science, you
Oh
know.
wow, okay, interested. Why don't you come for this course, right? And I thought at that point in time I'd been learning about investing. I think theoretically, why do I need more stuff to learn? Now I need the practical and the actual work.
Yes.
So I just went anyway, because then I realized, hey, actually, as I was sitting here, I said, why not I work for this stock investing education company, because the way they think about investing is very similar to what I've learned.
I see.
So for me, it was to get into the
The cost.
into the company, lor. It's a
Yeah.
foot in dollar. So what I also did was to offer to work for free.
No problem.
Because the way, again, a lot of these SMEs work is that they look at you, you're an employee. If you ask a certain amount of market rate, or we call it 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, whatever it is, either they'll say no because they can't afford you, or they will buy you, or they will get you, and they will squeeze you.
100%. So you work for free, then they can't squeeze you.
Then you can make all the mistakes you want, can experiment all
No
you
risk.
They
want.
can't fuck with you also.
They can't. I said, and I also say this because my background is one of a certain privilege.
Correct. You can afford to do that.
Yeah. No, I mean, my family's not
Yeah.
ultra wealthy. I mean, we get whiffs of upper middle class, but we still a middle class,
I see.
right? So I can afford to do that. Fortunately, my boss at the time was very appreciative. He actually paid me market rate regardless. No,
Okay.
market rate for SMEs, I would say.
Okay.
Good guy, Alan.
No market rate, man.
Huh?
You told me how much you earned at the time.
I don't know.
For SMEs, I felt
Is it?
lah. Yeah. But it was very hard to use the word market rate, because my role was very, in a way, dynamic. Because you're SME, you do a lot of things.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got in. 3 years out of there, a bunch of things happens. Obviously, I'm not going to say on camera because sensitive with my previous company. Then that's when I realized that the most important thing was to actually get in touch with people who were very high quality. So for me, my only criteria for joining a company is if there were people I can work under or with that I respect and I know can elevate me to a certain level.
Fucking hard though.
Hard lah. That's why I needed to do things like lower, not go for pay on that. I just work with you.
Just go only.
That was how the founder of Bloomberg, I don't know if you all know the story. That was how the founder of Bloomberg,
Made his way.
became a billionaire. He just it worked for peanuts, and then every time the boss would leave last, and then he would actually stay back and then just like clean around, just pretend to clean the office, just so that he can have a conversation with the boss, just so that the boss can know him better.
Yeah.
And then eventually that boss open up a bunch of connections, which then creates an unfair advantage versus the peers. So that was what I was trying to do, and true enough, someone with no degree, I ended up making friends with people who were datos, former, like there was this lady, she was 2 levels above her was the Prime Minister of Malaysia. She was in charge in she was one of the directors for Bursa Malaysia. So she reports directly to the CEO, and there's, the CEO reports to the Prime Minister, right? So I met someone like that. Then I met my current partner. Worked 10 years at Shell. So for the viewers who may not know what that means, if you can last 10 years at Shell, you are at a certain level. And he was upstream, meaning he was building the platforms to suck the oil out, right?
It's the offshore.
Offshore one. So it's basically the no bullshit job lah.
Deep Pearl Horizon.
No bullshit.
Yeah, Deep Horizon, yes, Deepwater Horizon.
Yes.
He was managing
that shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
When he left,
bro,
he was
that's-
managing $2 billion US dollars.
That's a big role right
What
there.
is deep? Sorry, say that again. Deep what horizon?
Deep Pearl Horizon.
What is Deep Pearl Horizon?
Damn.
Deepwater Horizon.
Deepwater.
No, it was
Okay,
the platform that
Deepwater,
exploded.
The platform that exploded.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a movie like you
Yeah.
can watch it.
It's a real story as well.
Oh.
So I met people like that and a whole host of other people. So other investors, things like that. So it was yeah.